Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is the first book review on my channel, and it's about the SAS Survival Guide, which is written by John Wiseman and is based on his 26 years experience in the Special Air Service. So stay tuned. Okay, the reason why I got this book is mainly because in many survival shows and channels on YouTube I saw guys having this book and praying to as the Bible of survival, and if you only had to choose one book, this would be it. And this was the main reason I got curious, and I wanted to build my own opinion on this. And so I got it in English. I think it's only available in English, even this is not my native language. But I read completely through it, and I have to kind of agree and disagree at the same time, because it is a very well made book. As you can see, it's pretty thick. This is about 300 and nearly 400 pages, and it's talking about, I hope you can see this, basically everything. From preparedness to equipment, survival kit, pouch, knives, getting water, then about the different climate zones you might expose to, then about food values, edible plants, and edible animals, of course, and the threats that might come apart to you. Then campcraft, how to build a camp, how to decide where you want to build your shelter, fire, cooking, tools, all the basics. Also about reading maps and direction finding, navigating with the stars, navigating with a compass, navigating with a map, navigating through natural pointers and all that. Then if you're moving alone, if you're moving in groups, things to consider. Then we have special capital survival at sea, which is also very interesting. And then I have to catch my breath. It's about rescuing, signaling, Morse code, spotting flares, all that goodies. Then of course health, meaning first aid. It's about broken bones and small care and bleeding and CPR and compression bandages and what you can do if you don't have proper first aid utilities. So improvisation with shimak or some other fabric that you might have handy, how to take care of burns and tell how bad they are, moving the injured person, all this good stuff. And then we also have disaster strategics that can occur. You have floods, tsunami, fires, hurricanes, all that, and also if you have a vehicle. And the book covers all that. To cover all that, it's of course relatively short in the own departments, you could say. So where do you have an example? Like, okay, knives is only 3 sides. I mean, it's pretty basic. Then you have facing disaster, which is only 1 side. You get 9 sides over water, 1 over salt, survival log, and all that. So it touches on very many things, but I find it sometimes kind of hard for the untrained person to see what's useful and what's not so useful, because in the, let me find this, well, we are just going through the book. Okay, so here we have it. The book is also talking about archery and hunting with a bow. And this is a theme that's pretty wide. So you have 1, 2, 3, come on, 4 sides basically explaining how to build a bow, how to find the right materials, what types of heads you can use, and what kind of game you can hunt with it. And I think that's not really appropriate, because if you're really in a survival situation, you're probably not that well trained as you might think, and the last thing, in my opinion, you want to do is run out and try to build a bow, because that is gonna take up massive amounts of time of your utilities in terms of dulling your knife and maybe abusing your tools, and then coming out with a unsuitable result and absolutely no game and no gain. So there are some things in here that, you know, are a little bit over the top if you're not a survival expert like pretty much John Wiseman is. And for the untrained person who reads this book, it's kind of hard to distinguish between what's really useful and what's a little over the top. But to help you with that, he has like these green text boxes which at least tell you what you're definitely not wanting to do in a survival situation, so that you can actually survive. And I think the book covers a lot of good stuff. And again, the green ones are the real important stuff. So if you don't have a lot of time to spend and you just want to increase your knowledge over survival, you just pick it up, read basically all the green marked spots, and I won't say you're good to go, but it's a lot better than before. And you also have some plant identifications here. Tells you what types of plants you can eat and what parts of the plant are usable for you, and what's suitable and what needs to be processed more, and yeah, all that. These are illustrated. I personally like photographs more, because this is more of the natural thing. I think this is a little bit sterile, and if you have this right to the real plant, it's kind of hard to identify that, but that's just my personal preference. And same goes for trails. Book talks about trail identification, what kind of game is going on here, and again, I prefer real photographs. And then we have snares, and where do we have it? Yep. And come on. I don't know the word, but you do. Trapping. Yes, right, that was it. And sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. Let's say, I don't find it right now. Yeah, there it is. The figure 4 death trap. I had the book with me outside, and according to this drawing, I tried to build it, and I managed to do it, but it took me about 3 attempts to really get the things arranged. And I have some other survival books, which of course also talk about the figure 4, and they give you multiple images and basically one drawing. So this is the basic setup, and then you've got detailed photos of each individual stick, so that you can really see how the angles are cut and all that. And if you've never done this, you take the book out with you and you just take a look at the drawing. This will give you a good idea of how it works in general, and you can manage to pull it off like I did without particular training, but it will take you an awful lot of time and of course consume your knife a little bit more than if you had some more details, how you cut the angles and all that. And these are just a few things to consider. So the book really is a good book. It touches on a lot of important topics. It has a lot of illustrations, how to do things, how to skin game, how to transport, how to take care of wounds, how to build shelters, how to make a bow drill, which also is very hard, by the way, if you've never done this, how to fell trees, making appropriate knots, reading maps and terrain, navigation with stars and the sun, general direction finding and crossing rivers and all that, so Morse code. So overall it's a pretty complete book in that sense, but you can't have to filter out a few things, like I mentioned before, that are a little bit over the top, and personally I'd like to have a little less illustrations, but therefore a little more photographs. But again, personal preference. I think a lot of people will be perfectly fine with this. And then we've got one goodie for the final, basically. We have, I think, 2 or 3 of these survival case studies where they researched actual people getting in survival situations and how they managed or didn't manage to get out of them. And they tell you what they could have done different to basically get you through this, and this really makes you think, okay, if I were in that situation, how would I have managed to get out there? And that you would really be happy to have this small book on hand, because this can really help you and save your life. So I recommend you to get this. Especially I like this pocket version, because this fits in my cargo pocket and I can take it everywhere I go and then refresh my memory on it if I feel the need to. And yeah, it's really a thumbs up. I will leave a Amazon link in the description below. I hope you found this interesting. Thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.